Can we call you Pete?
No, it's Paul.
So everyone, this is Pete.
It's not Pete.
Why was everyone calling you Pete in the last episode?
Because you call me P and it sounds like Pete.
Good morning, you two. We've got a new addition to the workshop, a man in pink. Hello, Tom. Nomda is out of the corner as well. We thought we'd actually bring the car out so you can kind of see a bit more flesh. She's that much closer to the outside. She's so close.
You can smell the outside.
What are we doing today then?
Head.
This is a family-friendly channel, have you know?
It is indeed.
So we've got the engine.
Yeah. And as if by magic, it's now 4-cylinder.
So Worcester very kindly sent us a piston ring, because as you know, in the last episode,
it fell apart.
Yeah. Right, we got a new one, the piston's in, so we've technically now got a 4-pot.
Nice.
Next up, we're going to be doing some cylinder head rebuilding.
Yes, new valves, new springs, valve stem seals. Put it all back together so it's already working cylinder head, show people how VTEC works.
Happy days, man. And we got all that goodness from Nyewood.
Take a while.
Which we're going to pronounce correctly today.
Yeah, take a while.
Right, let's crack on. But before we do that,
has the car you want to buy binge on? Want to check its history in proper detail? Meet CarVertical. Get access to one of the largest database networks for vehicle records. Whether buying a vehicle locally or overseas, we can help you avoid a turd. Avoid any surprises. CarVertical.com, as used by Donkey London.
we have a cylinder head, so anyone in the audience who isn't sure, this is the head part of the engine. Obviously we've done the bottom end in the last video.
This is a P72. P72, which comes from the UK VTI Rover shape Honda B18. So not an Integra engine, it is a Civic engine.
Basically a Rover.
Yeah, it's a Rover 400, I think, with a Honda engine in it.
Sick.
Which gives us a lovely low comp P72s.
Which is what you basically got in the C4s.
Yes, B18 C4, P72. Just depends how you want to, what Honda language you speak. Off camera, I've already pulled all the VTEC gear out of this head because I had to get it machined. So, but we will show, I will pull it all apart and show everybody all the springs and pins on how it all works as we put it back together. My good friend. This is a valve spring compressor. And then in here, little things they're called collets. That's a collet.
Okay.
Yeah. You get 2 of them per valve.
Got you.
Yeah. Now we take these very carefully, put them in a tray. Don't lose them. Then we release. Take this off, like this, and then we pull out a complete valve spring and retainer. That's the standard one. And then we go back up like this. Give it a little nudge. Lots of carbon.
Yeah.
1 standard valve.
So that's basically, I think this motor was probably on about 140 odd thousand miles. So that's basically the valve after 140,000 miles.
It's pretty grubby. Not a very good valve seat anymore. We'll be lapping in new valves, making it all nice and shiny and good. Then what we're going to do is just in here. There's a valve stem seal. See it on the top there?
Yeah.
Now we're going to attempt to pull these out without pinching my fingers. One quite smushed valve stem oil seal. These are what cause smoke on loads of things. Lots of things are prone to it.
Yeah.
Anything high revving, these generally cause a problem. Little spring seat, this last little bit. Take that out. Take this out so when we put it back together, it's all nice and clean, and we get all of the gunk and stuff out. So as we're starting with a nice clean base.
Got you, man. So that's the first valve removed. We've got 16 valves. Done one. That makes 15.
Yeah,
Quick
15.
maths.
Yeah, quick math.
That's my DGCSE coming in handy. That's all the valve stems removed. We're just taking out the lower spring seats. This side's all done. This side to do, and then we've pretty much got a bare head.
trying to get shares in a brake cleaner company, I think.
That's the cylinder head.
Cleaned up.
And clean. Yeah. Looking pucker. Next up, we're going to be lapping the valves.
Cheating.
Cheating?
Of course.
Why are we cheating?
Because we're not doing it by hand. Trying to get a shot of that before?
Yeah.
Got the state of that?
Just explain to our audience, what is the purpose of lapping said valves, Brother Pete?
It is so as that we get a nice, good, tight seal between the valve and the valve seat. And once they're matched together, once they're lapped in, we have this very technical piece of cardboard to keep them in order.
High-tech shit, man.
Yeah, so as that they don't get confused.
Right.
But it's easier if you do this before you put the valve stem seals in.
What's that gunk you're putting on the valve?
That is valve grinding paste.
Right.
Don't eat it.
So first up we're using coarse.
Coarse, yeah. Clean up the worst of it. And then we go on to fine. Fine.
We're fine.
So that we can make a nice decent compression seal.
We're going to look very quick in the video, but in reality...
What are we, like day 7 now?
No, we're about 2 hours in.
It's about 2 hours, something like that.
Many hours later.
Yeah. I've gone grey, look. I've actually gone grey.
Valve sorted. Now we're just going through and putting all the valve seats in place, just giving them a quick little clean before they go back in.
Skunk 2.
Valve stem oil seals.
We're going to use the Skunk 2 ones to go with all the rest of the Skunk 2 hardware, but the Honda ones are still good. Little grooves on the inside that line up with the grooves on the stem seal, so they point on and then they never come off again. Just on, bit of pressure.
That's the exhaust side done. Next up we've got the dual valve springs, exhaust side, and the retainers.
Titanium retainers.
Very lightweight.com.
Time that side. Yeah. Valve number 1. Right, so that goes in its stem.
Yep.
I guide it through at the top while I poke it through at the bottom, and then that will hold that in place for me.
Yep.
And then we take a spring, one like that.
Spring.
And then we take our springs, dual, plural, spring compressor on the bottom, like that. More my head in the way. Compress that sucker. And we're going to take my magic screwdriver, a couple of collets, for the bad boys. Little dab of grease in the middle.
First one's in.
Yeah.
Second one.
Collet is now wedged between the stem of the valve and the valve retainer, and they're now wedged in there to stay in there forever.
1 hour later.
Well, that's all the exhaust valves done. I'm just going to spin it over. You guys can see all the springs and retainers now in place. Now it's the same thing. We've actually got dual springs for the intake side as well.
Yep.
From Skunk 2. Teggy Watt Absolute Legends. Where are they? Oh, they're there. Exactly the same procedure.
Right, so it's a valve seat, spring seat, valve stem seal, valve, dual spring, retainer, then a pair of collets per valve.
Yeah.
So that's what, how many steps? Hang on.
6.
Like this many steps.
Douglas Buster's in any place, making a stress.
Can't tell, but it is night time outside now. Right, good man. It's an empty old process. And it's a shame as well. The other sort of like pistons and rods I could assemble, but this is kind of really a one-man job.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah,
and it's quite fiddly as well. I didn't realise how kind of intricate some of these little bits were, like the collets.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you guys can see, intake is all done. Which way is side's intake? I'm confused.
This is intake.
Right. Intake's all done. Exhaust is all done. What's the next step?
Honda specific.
VTAC.
Yes. Now you won't find these in a lot of things, mostly VTEC. These are basically like a hydraulic tappet or a lifter, but these are for when you're not in VTEC. It's called a lost motion assembly. It's the technical term for it. Now, in the Integra, it's a spring. Now in these, it's a hydraulic lifter. Now these literally just sit in that little hole, like that. And what these do is they keep the rocker arm, the VTEC rocker arm, which I'll explain in a minute, they keep tension on it to stop it rattling. So a few people end up with rattling Honda engines, they think it's something serious, but it's not, it's just really these, and you just replace them for springs. Again, Honda specific, third rocker arm. This is your VTEC rocker arm. Right, now I bunched these up to keep them together, but what I'm going to do, just for the sake of everybody else, I'm going to open this up and I'm going to show everybody what's actually the business of what actually makes it work. Now what you've got is you've got a series of pins and springs in here. So this little arm, this little pin, slides back and forth. And what that does is there's oil pressure and a spring inside here. So when VTEC engages, it sends high pressure oil through this, which pushes this, which locks these three arms. Instead of it being three arms, it becomes one arm. So this takes over pressing down these two. So then gives you the much bigger lift on the camshaft. So that's what gives you that distinctive Honda. I'm going to oil it all up, put that in, and that, as previously said, the lost motion, that presses on here to keep that from chattering up and down when you're not in VTEC. So when you're in VTEC, the big cam lobe takes over, presses the whole lot down, and these don't even touch the camshaft when this one's engaged.
And they're basically like the bars which control.
Yeah, this is what all the rocker arms float up and down on, which have got things for your high pressure oil flow. So what we do is we take that, take note, the hole here locates with a dowel peg here and here, so these go in that way. So we've got some oil on that, in that goes, and you see that's poke out. Then we take a set of rockers. Oh, come on, there we go. Right, now we're through. Through to the next one, see?
Nice one, brother.
Nice one, brother.
Another one done.
Obviously, we don't need these in the engine.
All the rocker arms now in. Got the bungs back in.
Yeah.
On the sides.
Retainer pins.
Yeah.
They hold the bars in place. So yeah.
And the cams we won't really put in place until...
You have to bolt the head back on first, because the head bolts on Honda go under the cams. So we can't put the cams in until the head's on the block, which that's the next one.
One cylinder head complete. Like I said before, big shout out Nyewood. Finally we're getting the name right. Happy days. But yeah, big up Nyewood, sent us these lovely skunky bits. You can close the video off.
Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe and share, and yeah.
Put some comments down below.
Yeah, do that.
Douglas Buses in any place, making a space. Linda, easy man, easy, most of the way there. Oh, yeah, can't just